Good morning, everybody. Vindy here with FuturestraderElite. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Had a great weekend. We're going to jump into these charts here in just 1 second. Give me just a second. Getting set up on my end. Thought I was there. What I'm kind of looking for here at the open of the market. Things are pretty bearish. A time frame, intraday is pretty bearish already this morning. They tried to get the bounce here. Let's zoom out for a minute. That end. So this is all looking pretty rough here. This is back overnight. All this drop here. Got this bounce back up into this 800 area. Got the rejection. Now they're trying to bounce some more. So I'm looking for one of two things here when the market opens. I'm looking for them to sweep 800. Either they're going to drive this back up, is what I'm going to look for. Sweep 800, pre-market high area. Got the S1 pivot. We got some overhead and balances up here. Got 4 hour and 15 minute up here overhead above 800. And then I'm also looking, if they don't want to do that, for them to sweep maybe 610, 620 area down here. This other box is somewhere right in there, possibly, because that's going to come down to a high time frame trend line. Possibly get the bounce there. If they want to take this back to the upside and be bullish, then they probably need to bounce at that trend line. That'll put in a higher low compared to this back here. It'll be a lower low on this leg, but it'll be still a higher low looking back to the overnight down here, overnight low, which is way down here around 542 or so. Kind of what I'll be looking for right here at the open. I guess I could try to pull some fibs on this. Or somewhere up in that area. Blow this up here. See what these fibs look like. So we've got the bounce back almost to the 50% fib when we got that pre-market high. 50% fib is at about 808 or so. And then we got this other drop and come back to like 38.2 here and rejected. Not too concerned with the fibs right now. I'm going to take them off. Got about 50 seconds before the market opens, it looks like. So I'm just going to focus on what we have here. Got our pre-market high around 800. Got a higher time frame trend line right down here going through this box, somewhere right in that area. Don't forget to smash that like button on the streams if you're enjoying the streams. Helps other traders find us on YouTube. So market's open here. Wow, they're going to drop down to our trend line. Nice pullback into the pre-market low there. Nice push out of the pre-market low. Over 50, 60 points already. What's going on, Lemon? Long time no see. Yards up there, 45, 46. Nice push out of that pre-market low. I was really hoping they'd come on down to this other box here, though. But they might try to take this and sweep that 800 level first. Maybe not. Of course, I got in it long. Now they're hurting me. I've been patient, waited for my box down here. Looks like. Got pretty close down to that higher time frame trend line. quite tap it though. About 623 or so. Would tap into the trend line. The box would kind of sweep it a little. Down and did tap the trend line there when they come into the box. That puts them pretty close to the 600 whole number. I don't wonder if they want to go down there to the psychological whole number possibly. If they want to bounce it here, at least a sweep maybe. As long as they can close that 15-minute candle. Got like a little over 5 minutes. If they can close it above that trend line, it'll look better for maybe the possible them trying to range it back to the upside maybe. Hmm. Maybe they're going for the overnight low. Got the overnight low at 543 and then the S2 pivot down there. And if they get down there, you almost want to see them save it at the overnight low or 525. Because if they get below 525, keep pushing, we're definitely going down into probably the 400 area. Say if 525 don't save it, we'll possibly be going down to 400. Would be the next stop to the downside. We're inside this box here, 520, 530 area. That is if maybe they keep pushing and maybe sweep the S2 pivot. Hundred 170, 180 points inside the 15-minute orb right now. Like they're trying to decide down here, like kind of want to turn around. Oh, nasty drop here at the open. This overnight low is gonna hold here. Oh, now they need to springboard it back to the upside. Give us at least the bring it back to 650. Come on, you can do it. About 34, 35 on the ATR is. Goodness. Happened up against a pivot side trading view. And it's 525 and needs to hold. If it don't, then it's gonna be going down. Push. 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 Protect that level. Like I need to quit counter trend trading on a bearish day. Yep. On. On. Bounce. Calm down. Like they're gonna slam it. They do slam it, I'm gonna be ready. Stop out and pick up 3 short. Because if they slam it, it's probably gonna go down to 400. Push. Push. Really good push. Get back, break even. A really good push. push. Anybody take the long out of that zone down there at the bottom under the pivot I had put in there? You did? They did. How high they want to go with this. They might just come up here and sweep the 50 if they get there. You know what? I don't need to be greedy. I should take profit. Took 3 micros at the zone box. Good job, Remod. Nice. Beautiful long right there. Anybody else? Anybody else get in on the long there? Nice. Nice. Good job. Well, I lost some Apex accounts. I should have waited on the zone, but instead of following my rules and waiting for my trade plan to hit, I ended up getting stuck on that drop. I should have just waited for my box. I had the box there for a reason. It was the trade plan. Come to that level. And that would be the line in the sand. And it proved to put in a 120-point run. But they could sweep the 50 EMA here on the 1 minute, give it all back, and take a leg back down into the 400s. Because overall, everything really is bearish. So don't want to be greedy, you know. You are in on the long. Make sure you keep your tight wrist with your stops, following structure, you know. Looks like they're about to put this red candle in, which means it's probably just a sweep of the 50. They might go up, but I would be out of the trade if it was not looking for the whole move. We're just looking for a portion of them. And if you caught anywhere between, it looks like some of y'all caught somewhere between 50 and 100 points on that one. And that's plenty of the move. I caught just over 100 points when I covered mine, or right at 102 points, I think. At least on the one that I left running. Caught that first one. I got 50 points or so. They come back and take out that low, I'm going to be thinking a possible 465, 475 area. And then the next stop would be about 400 probably. If they get below this box here. I get a first reaction bounce here, but it seems like they're going to put a leg down, maybe catch it for a bounce up for another leg down to 400 if they're going to stay bearish. Unless they did want that 525 area, 525, 30 area to be the line in the sand. No, maybe they try to start working this back up right here if they don't put in a lower low. I think I'm going to sit on the sidelines for a moment here, let it do its thing. ATR drop back down into the 20s. Could turn into a grind back to the upside possibly here, since they did not allow them to come put that lower low in right there. When they opened up overnight, they never did go back and fill the gap fill where they gapped down overnight. They spiked up and got pretty close, something points, but never completely filled it. At least not on NQ. Hey, what's going on, Kim? finally got you a day off work. But we appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us for a little while. You done trading today already? Nice. Good work. Good work, Kim. Just depending on what the, oh my goodness, what is that? Look at that. Almost back down to this box. Man, I was not ready for that. I was doing something else. Look at that. Got within like 8 points of my zone down there. Ah, wow. Nope, I'm not messing with that. Not now. ATR is up around 75. No, thanks. I'll be all right. A nice clean bounce though there at first. Huge drop. Almost, what was that? Wow. Like 100. I mean, yeah, like 150 or 60 points in that candle. Man. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't trying to long it up there, but that was way too close to my box. Looks like it hit about 487.75, and top of my box is 476.25. If you're new to the stream today, let us know in chat. That way we can welcome you to the community. And don't forget to smash that like button. Helps other traders find us on YouTube. You know, we can run, if we run them likes up to 20 today on the stream, I'll give away a copy of the Futures Trader, or no, the FTE Trader Mindset book. Everybody could always use a little enjoyment of the psychology side. Helps keep us within our rules and discipline. And, you know, maybe I need to go back and touch base to the book myself, considering that I broke my rules this morning, didn't wait on my box. And what did I get in return? I blew some e-bounds. So what I get for not following my rules? Switched over from the minis to the micros, so my chart's froze right now. Trying to recalculate the data that it needs to throw on the chart here. Heading back. Trying to mark up my charts a little bit on for the micros. Bring that kind of stuff around here. Oh, K-Cat posted in the P&L and Discord, locking in $1,500. Says she hit her daily goal. Job, K. All right. Now we're back in the micros. I'm back in the micros myself. Just a little bit of chop going on here. Not too sure how I feel even about this. Even though they spiked down like that and pushed out and turned this back around from that one zone I had on the mini, there was about where this went to, or just below. I don't really trust it to the long side, really. We just got too much is upside down. Everything's inverted. Got the 5 minute, the 15, and the 60 and the 30. If the 30 was here and the 60 was above that, but now look at them trying to act like they want to be bullish. Momentum is overbought, even on this run here. The ES is red, Nasdaq's red. I mean, they could flip them green, but see what they're doing. Chart's just real ugly. I don't want to think like 715, 720 would be the short range. On a short, that'd be coming into the bottom side of the 15-minute 50 there. And there's a zone that I left on my trading view chart that I traded a couple weeks ago for a short, and that's what it's coming into, would be right at the bottom side of this 15-minute 50. I've had that zone on there for like a month or better now. And of course, it's worked for support and resistance, 720 or 710, 720, 725 level. Now it's 695 to 715 is the zone that's been on my other chart, and it's worked so many times over the last several weeks for resistance and support. If they get way above it, they come down to it, bounced out of that area, and then they come up to it and reject out of it. Just depends on which side we're on and how everything's looking on the intraday. But I could see a short setting up right here. Pretty bullish though. Them wicks to the downside, and now they got this little leg up. But even though that's intraday bullish here on the the 1 minute chart, it looks good. But they got a lot of cleanup to do on the higher time frames in order to make it feel safe to be on the bull side of things. Trader Merlin posted in the P&L and Discord, locking in almost $500 so far today across 3 accounts. Good job, Merlin. Excuse me. I'm green in 8. I blew 2 evals. And I'm not done yet. Well, I mean, I could be, but wait and see here. I won't be buying any more legacy 250K accounts with Apex. Even though they're $17 on sale, it costs $177 to activate them on the backside. So I will not buy no more of them. Excuse me. And with the 250 legacy accounts, the old rules do apply. I thought Apex got rid of all the old rules across the board. That's not true. They're still part of the legacy accounts. So if you are going to use Apex and want the new rules, you better buy something new that they rolled out. And they have the option to buy, kind of like I think Tradeify is doing it now, where you can buy a 5-pack or something. I think Tradeify is doing that. Well, Apex is doing that now on the anything from like a 25K to a 150K. You can buy a 5-pack. And then with Apex, you can choose the end of day drawdown accounts with no activation fee, which puts them right in line with what everybody else costs for the most part. If you want to buy them up front and not have activation fee, the price goes up on Apex. Falls in line with most other places where there's no activation fee. Buy the intraday trailing. Right now, across the board, the lifetime paid fee is $59 on the intraday trail for 25Ks to 150. Yeah, intraday. I've traded them both. It don't really bother me that bad, really, to be honest. Intraday versus the end of the day, because I mean, either I'm gonna pass it or I'm gonna blow it. So if I take my time and trade away and follow my rules, intraday don't seem to be a problem. And then, if I get out of my lane or something while I'm trading, it don't really matter what the end of that or what the trailing is. I'm gonna end up blowing the account anyway. So. But that's probably another reason why I follow a lot of mine with stops pretty tight, pretty fast, because a lot of mine are intraday. And so as soon as I get in the green, I usually start moving my stops into place. And then every now and again, I'll let them ride. It just depends on the setup. If I need to give it room to breathe, I don't really care about it being intraday. If you're pretty confident that the move's going to go your way and you just give a little time to breathe. And you definitely can't. You got to be careful. You can't oversize intraday because then that'll get you real fast. I have blown plenty of intraday accounts, and they were in the green when I blew them. So just got to be safe. But all in all, end of day is a lot better as well. At least they go by the end of the day instead of whatever the highest potential you had during the day as far as capital gained. I've never really been one to let something run real far though and let it uh come way back. I don't trailing hurts I think so many people because they try to give it room to breathe. And, they'll be up even if you're up $500, but then give it room to breathe and you are at break even or whatever, then yeah, the trailing ain't gonna work out that way. With trailing, you have to set your TP, you gotta take profit, and then you gotta trail pretty tight depending on the trade. Because if you don't and you keep giving them room and you're up 500 and you let it come back and stop you out, for 100 in the green, and then you take another trade and it does the same thing, and then another trade, you're only green $300, but your intraday trail you was up 1,500. And then maybe a lot of people don't even understand how it works. I don't know. So then it can start looking really bad. Yeah, Kim says she usually trails up. Yeah, I have to most of the time. Act like you ain't never ate. Act like you ain't never ate. So, what is everybody else using? Let me know in chat. Like, are y'all on end of day drawdown? Y'all doing trailing drawdown? HB asked how many 250s. I only have a handful now. But after my wife passed those 250s that she had, and we seen what that activation fee was, I don't even really care too much about mine. Do what? Oh, 250s. When my wife passed some 250s, got them. I was like, man, no way. No. Not mine. I hadn't passed mine yet. But I don't even, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if I want to. I should have read, I didn't, I should have read the rules or whatever before I bought them. Otherwise, I'd have never bought them. It was going to cost $177 to activate them. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just go pay for straight funded somewhere. Who knows? I might. Although I think they say they only give you 7 days or something to pass or pay for them. That bad. Kim, if you're asking me if mine are in today, no, they're trailing. My 250s are. That 15-minute chart looks pretty nasty, but I think it's not looking good. And wicks to the downside is pretty crazy on it. should have shorted that. I was talking about this run coming up in the 15-minute 50. I was talking about it being a short play. And then I quit looking. I was doing something else and then looking at chat and looking at something else and looking at chat. Wasn't even looking at the chart. Uh, we got. Oh, I had asked the chat what y'all was using, trailing her in the day. And Kim said she's using all in the day. I probably got a mix of both. Trailing. Hey, posting. Stay on Discord, locking in $1. If anybody is using NinjaTrader and wanted their charts to look something like mine, I bundled everything together that I'm currently using on NinjaTrader. The liquidity levels that marks out everything on its own, highs and lows, previous day highs and lows, pre-market high and low, orb high and low. The 50 EMA tracker that tracks the EMA off the 5, 15, 30, 60, and the 4 hour, depending on how much days to load you have on your chart. The ATR box and the high time frame candle indicator. Got it all bundled together, packed together on Gumroad under the professional chart pack for NinjaTrader. I still use the original FTE Elite indicator packs. Come with 3 indicators. I still use those on TradingView. Only reason they're not on NinjaTrader is because I've got so much stuff built that it bogs it down too much. The only one that I don't use, the original packs came with the support and resistance lines, the buy sell signal, and the volume weighted MACD that I built. I don't use the MACD anymore on TradingView either. I switched that out with the kill zone. I use the kill zone indicator across the board on both platforms, but still use everything else. Yeah, HB. I don't know. I don't like the ATR line or whatever you can put on your chart. So this ATR box over here just tells you how many points it's moving in 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. It's how many points, not ticks. So got that on there, and then the liquidity levels is like you have right here in the center of the chart, the pink line with PMLs, a pre-market low. Up top, there's a pink line right up in here, PMH, pre-market high. And you got your orb high right here, tied into some other levels. The previous day lows is green line, overnight low down here, close to this S2 pivot. And then you have, these are the EMAs. The 5 minute is right here inside the chart right now. The 5 minute 50 EMA, the 15 minute 50 EMA, 60 minute, the 30 minute. And then I have all these high time frame candle highs and lows. Here at the orb high, you can see the 15 minute high, the 30 minute high are right in line with the orb high. Then you got the 1 hour high here, 2 hour high, the 4 hour high is up here at the top of the chart. And then down here you see where the lows are. The 15 minute low is on the orb low. Then you got the 30 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour lows are all in line here at the same level. And the 4 hour low is here at the overnight low. And them high time frame candles will not change highs and lows until they are broke on that time frame and put in either another high and low on the 30, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour. If they stay within the range of what already is there, it will only update once it breaks and closes one of them levels up or down, and them lines will move to the new highs and lows of that time frame. And that's about it on here. And then, of course, I put these EMAs on myself right out of the NinjaTrader. I got the, I think that's the 921, and then the pink is the 50. It might be the 8 and the 21. Either the 8 or the 9. The purple line, probably 9. Green is 21. And then it's kill zone indicator at the bottom of the chart by itself down. I thought about adding the daily, the weekly, or the weekly, the weekly and the monthly highs and lows to the liquidity levels, but I don't know if I'm going to, because if I got to load any more chart days to load on here, then it ain't gonna work. It's gonna freeze up for too long, probably. So I hadn't messed with it. The transparent boxes, I don't have any on here right now. They're the ones that I just draw on myself. Them are levels that I draw on intraday. Once the market is moving and I start eyeballing zones to the top side or the downside, upside or downside, I just draw them on manually. That's all got to do with reading structure. In areas, that I might be thinking about taking a trade, possibly that's why I draw them on there. It'd be like, if they want to keep taking this to the upside right here, they really, for me, I would be thinking something like this right here is where I'd want to be on this pullback. But if they break through this box and take out that low, then it's going to keep on going down. But they probably are going to try to keep on taking it down anyway. It don't seem super bullish, so the high time frame candle just marks lines of where the highs and lows are of anywhere from the 30-minute to the 4-hour. As you can see down here, towards the bottom of the chart here, right here, we got the 30-minute low, the 1-hour low, and the 2-hour low. Those won't change until the low or the high is broken on that time frame. Then they will readjust to when that candle closes. But if they stay within the high and low of that candle, then they will stay right where they're at. And they're scattered about. The highs are up here. The 4-hour high is way up here on the top side of the chart right now. And the 4-hour low is way down here. Yeah, no problem, HB. They tried to take me out. They tried. Got some. Did you go on copy trader though? Because some of them are like that one right there. Got some bad fills somewhere along the way. Like no matter what I do, I keep getting on the wrong side. That's you on most days. Well, this definitely ain't my day. I'm usually not on the wrong side, but today is really been on me. Key here is going to be to hold out long enough. We're going to make this drive up to get out. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they get in that drawdown. Get in that drawdown, you see yourself in the red, and then as soon as it comes back and barely gets green, you almost get out of the trade. I used to be just like that. And depending on the days, sometimes I still do stuff like that because I'm just glad to be back at break even, and then I don't even want to trade. But you know, if they can keep pushing this back to the upside, they bounced it here. They swept the 50 EMA on the 1 minute. They never come down here and broke structure downside. I was looking around 640. Looks like a level, I might be willing to wait and hold to and add to my position depending on what they do down there. But then, like I was saying, they'll come back and barely get green. They get out of the trade, and then it keeps pushing even higher. And then you leave a lot of capital on the table. So it really just depends. I'd like to scale out of this one, see if they get another leg up, and then leave one to run for the pre-market high up there. Well, I get it. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to try to hold it long enough to let it work and see, because nothing's gonna be a straight up or straight down unless we get some kind of death candle or really bullish candle to the upside. And then not oversizing into the position. That's why I was saying if it come down to 640 and I see what it does down there, I'd probably front load orders there, like I had them on my screen a minute ago. I'd probably front load that because if it were to come down that area and it's coming down into a trend line on a higher time frame, on the 15-minute anyway, 1 hour, it's been trying to stay above that trend line. So, they could come down and tap it again and then push again off of the higher time frame trend line. Even though the chart's ugly and choppy like this, I mean, it's still somewhat bullish on the intraday. But they need to keep putting in these or higher lows here. They're gonna do it, Got like about 8 minutes or a little over 8 minutes left on the 15-minute candle, but the 15-minute candle could push to say 745, 750 back up here, close to where my second order on the way up is, and close that 15-minute candle up there. That could start looking pretty bullish here on the day for a better drive to the upside, and maybe get some of the points back before they try to roll it over, take a leg down. Just depends on what they want to do. If they could flip the market green, that'd be saying a whole lot too, but I don't know if they can do it. For the first push to about 723, really. So 725. First order's at 720, but seems like they can push to 725 and see how it reacts up there at 15-minute 50 and see if they get rejection there, or are they going to be able to, maybe they pull back some but stay above this trend line on the 1 minute. Sold one off manually there. I only got two left. Kind of push we get here at this 15-minute 50, they could reject. Still have some room to the upside on momentum though. Maybe they could push on up into say 745 maybe. I would think if they can push up to 745, then we are going to end up putting in another high on this leg to the upside. But see, put my other stop down here just in case. Put this back down. No, might be stopping me. Put this right here. That's the bad part about trailing right there. That's all right though. Having that trailing drawdown, I didn't take profit and it come back and stop me out. So there's some there that's eating it by trailing, but it'll be all right. See what they do here. They got the 50 EMA on the 1 minute is crossing over the 5-minute 50 right here at this trend line. See if they try to push this back up and protect that there. Come down here and just scalp it. Getting the push hard enough there. All I'm really looking for is 10-point scalp. You know, from entry. Early. Come on, y'all can give me 10 points. Go. That's the key to actually with your trailing drawdown is to just put some stops in. And I mean, let one run, but if you're a scalper, trailing shouldn't be too bad, especially if you scalp and you do it. Take your entry, take your 10 points. Take your entry, take your 10 points. Take your entry, take your 20 points. You know, whatever it is. Just make sure you're taking profit, setting your TP, and you'll do better with the intraday trail more so than putting your orders way out there or letting one run and then giving back $100 or $200 before you stop out. I'm gonna say that's probably what eats most people up with trailing intraday is they don't pay attention to the way that adds up. And if you're trailing and you're moving your stop and you're giving yourself too much room to breathe, next thing you know, even though you're in the green, you're giving so much back on the trades by leaving the stop too far away that your intraday sneaking up on you pretty quick. Kim says 737 maybe. 737 getting close to the 15-minute high, 30-minute high up here. Yeah, the way it's trending, probably see a push up into there, see what they want to do. Although they put in a little higher high here than right back there. So what we got next? We barely got above this structure. Barely. So We really need to push up above, get close to 30-minute 50 on the next push. Structure wise, need to get up above 765 right now to look better. Pretty nasty chop right here. Up and down, up and down. Probably shouldn't even be trading. Anybody else? How's everybody else doing today? Green, red, sitting on the sidelines, getting caught in the chop, blowing evals. Hopefully not blowing fundeds. Morning swing. Yeah. Swing, you like to show up to the party, show up to the party when we're gonna end the stream anymore, it seems. Although we're not gonna end it just yet. Gotta get to bed on time. Gotta get to bed on time. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Always got things in our regular life to be handling and doing. I get that. I was up pretty late last night myself. Shouldn't have been, but I was. But I didn't trade last night. Oh wow. Sorry to hear that, Swain. Oh my gosh, I just some weird thing come across my news break that said diarrhea alert. Got an outbreak. What in the world? Makes me think them old Pepto commercials. Old slow grind. Old slow grind. Frustrating. Swing, I'm a little both. I blew some evals. I blew 2 evals of them 250Ks, and then I started out trading minis this morning. Switched back over to the micros after I blew a couple counts, and I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 accounts in the green. Two. I blew 2 by not following my rules. Prime example, it was awful. I should have never been trading. I had my box drawn. The level that I wanted to go long out of. But instead of waiting, I started trading before that and got blown. It went down and bounced out of that box beautifully, like 120 points. Although I caught some of it. Well, a lot of it. I caught 100 points with 2 minis. I think I sold one at about 50 points and carried the other one 100 points. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking about when I was doing that. And then I had that box there and I was like, man, we just discussed all this the other day. Yeah, got a little trigger happy. I did it to myself. If we got any new people on stream, got some things going. Got the Futures Trader Blueprint is published on Amazon. You can go to Amazon. It's only right now it's only $9.99. It is a good way to get into the framework here at the FTE community. Good starting place. There is I got a report out why 90% of traders don't never reach their first payout. It is a free report. It can be downloaded on Gumroad, or you can use the Solo link in Discord. And then I packaged together all the things that I'm using on NinjaTrader right now. As far as the liquidity levels, the high time frame 50 EMAs, and the high time frame candle plotting. All that's combined, plus the ATR box is the professional chart pack on Gumroad as well. And like I was saying, I still use 2 of the 3 out of the first indicator pack, the support and resistance and the buy sell signal out of the first pack. They're on Trading View. I can't put all them in. If I add them support and resistance lines to NinjaTrader, it really bogs it down with everything else I got getting calculated on there. So I just run them separately on Trading View. And if you're new here, smash that like button on the stream. Helps other traders find it on YouTube. Helps the algo push it out there further. And smash that like and subscribe on YouTube. Looking for that 1,300 mark in subs is the next milestone, I guess. We just passed 1,000 13 days ago. Now we're headed into 1,300. Grow the community. If anybody is on stream or in the stream with us or chat, and you have been through any of the products that I have built, I would greatly appreciate an honest review on Gumroad or wherever you might have gotten a product from. I sent out emails over the week. I haven't been able to check and see if anybody has replied, but reviews help other traders decide if they to what to expect and whether they want to move forward with something. about 20 minutes till 12 o'clock market time. I had some kind of nasty chop here. I probably won't take any more trades. Don't look like anything's going to set up really. I don't think. Maybe if we got a nice pullback into something, a push up, something to short into. I missed that short. Oh well. Getting down that level I was talking about, we might see a bounce. I had some orders down there earlier. 640 area. 3640. I don't know if we should be looking for the long down here or looking for a pop to short. Really? I like this area it's in for the long, but I don't know. What if we get the push back up here 30 or 40 points and they'll keep rolling it over to the downside, you know? I can't. It's hard to read. I've been having a hard time reading it today, other than that zone that I got that nice long out of that I should have waited for. Other than that one, I mean, this ain't looking too. That long we took earlier was put that zone in just under the S2 pivot. Caught this down here. Dropped right into that box. Got a little wicky, and then we got that big run there. And it turned around and did this, whatever that was. That was insane. 100 something point candle in the 1 minute. And it almost hit another. I had another zone that was just below this, where this came to. I think it was around 480, 470, 480 or something, or 485. And it looked like they did that because of something on the 1 hour chart. What it looked like. This starting to shape up more like a short every pop that it does. What's it doing? Remod said they're waiting green on the day, so they might be done. Not a bad idea. Nothing wrong with that. Keep it locked in and walk away. Protect the account. if they can drive this price on up right here, might have to get in short attack. They could try to push it on up into these EMAs, 5 minute, maybe even possibly close to the trend line. I don't know if we'll get it, but I don't really want to get short in these little pops here. I would like to see a nice one. Maybe load in for, a bigger drop. Closer from the trend line, possibly. I just don't know if we'll get it. They keep bleeding it off little like this, little pops. Keep dropping, then they find a area to the downside worth playing for a long off of. Especially as much as they protected the S2 in that area this morning, and then put in this big candle, and look at these wicks down here. So don't be surprised if they get somewhere between the S2 pivot, say between 541 and these lows right here, which is around 517, 518. So you got about 20 points here that you would think, at least initial reaction, you would think would be positive. Don't mean it's got to be, but you would think. Especially if they did something fast, like a hard candle down. I should probably put some orders here in case they do some kind of manipulation to the downside real fast. With some of the stuff I've seen them do so far today, it wouldn't surprise me none for them to just bam a candle down there and push it up real fast. Scalp out of it. Or it could push right through it and go down real fast. Or they could bounce there again, they just don't know. The ATR is not real super high though either. Oh yeah. Well, it feels like it's moving awfully slow. Coming in 12 o'clock market time here. Come on, why can't I get one of those manipulation candles to the downside and then straight up, push right back up 100 points? Hopefully that's a hopefully, Leroy, that's a oh what a day, as in a good way. Hopefully you've had a good trading day. Excuse me. Break even. Break even's not that bad though. It's better than bloat accounts or red day. So that's a positive in my book. Break even. Good job on being break even. I lost a couple evals by breaking my rules. Rule breaker. Not the way to start the week. Rule breaking. Nothing wrong with that, Remod. Just make sure you got your trade plan put together around it if you're going to take it. I plan on probably taking it myself. We'll see here. Got the orders there front loaded. Probably not the brightest idea, but we'll see. Not like it's minis, right? The micros. Although it could still hurt you. They'd have to put in a real hard death candle, blow through there like 100 points. That would hurt a little bit since there ain't no stop there. But it'll probably be my last trade of the day for now, anyway. I gotta get off here and I go try to tackle my lawn. We've been getting so much rain this year. Can't even stay on top of the grass. Because before the grass can get dry enough any day to mow, it rains again the next day, and then we won't be getting anything. And you think the yard's gonna get dry, and then it ain't dry. Then it rains again. Where my grass has grown 8 inches in the last 5 days, it looks like. I'm about to go there and see if it's dry enough. Sun's been out this morning, so hopefully I can get it knocked down. Lunch hour here, ATR's barely above 10. Don't even know if it's really going to be worth trying to take a trade down here out of this zone, but we shall see. Maybe they give us a push here to get short in. Get back up and they maybe see here. Like to see 'em back up here close to that trend line here, you know. Something like that up top around that trend line. If they can get it there though. All right, Kim, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you showing up. Be taking off pretty soon ourselves, more than likely. Come on, Bears, let's go. On pushing. Get down here and take out that low. Come on, let's go. Down there and take it out. Let's go. Push. Beautiful. Pushing. Take that low out. Oh, on down to Mother Zone. Go. Push. On, let's go. Push. Push. Can we get it to push all the way down in that zone? Can't get too much back here. All right, though. I'll hold out and see if they push down the zone here. Cover that on top of that pivot there. Top man. All right. Short there. Hold on to my zone down here. If we get some kind of first reaction play there, if they tap it. Got that zone there. Plus, we got a pivot on trading view at about 525 sitting somewhere towards the lower side of this box. And we got a pivot just above the box on Ninja Trader. I wish they would just throw in a down candle real fast and whip it back up. I don't like it slow grinding down to that area. This would usually invalidate a trade, but because of what time it is, we're going lunchtime, it's oversold on the 1, 2, and 5 minute charts pretty good. So if we could get a smack down in that zone, I think we could see a nice first reaction there. Maybe. If we don't, we'll probably see the opposite. A horrible reaction. It just goes right through it. Although the sweep would have to be down around 490 or so. And if anybody did get long there, there's probably stops down here they would hunt for, just below this 4-hour zone down here. Oh, I mean, it could be possible if we don't get a first reaction here that they try to do a fast swipe down here, take this out back here and see if there's any liquidity sitting below that, possibly. I don't think anybody would have been waiting to go long there. I wouldn't have thought, but possibly because I did have a box drawn down there off a higher time frame, so somebody could have been sitting down there with big orders, and that's why that got put in and they got picked up, took out some stops and everything else. Well, maybe it's giving me time to let my grass dry a little more outside. Maybe, I don't know. Been sitting down here for a while waiting, so maybe we're about to see. That's where I had my original take profit on that short I was in, right there on top of that S2 pivot. That would have worked out in my favor. Yeah, it ain't looking, I mean, you tap that pivot there and it didn't react very hard there. Has me questioning what this box might do below it. But it could be very slow. We're in that lunch hour time, so I want to see fast reaction though, like pick them up and bounce. I don't want to be sitting here trying to manage this trade and be in the red and all that mess. I don't really need to take another trade, but I like the idea down here. Now, if this takes off to the upside, this trade, I'm done with this idea. I'll be done for the day. That's crazy. Now, if they run it back here to 582 to the 21 EMA or possibly up there to 600 as the 50, 610, then that invalidates the trade because if they leg it back down, they're probably going to go straight through it. So there might be some opportunity here, maybe. Depends on what they do with this candle and the next candle, really. I'll do that again real hard and then push back up. Build one. I only tagged one, so I'm taking the rest off. And they can push this on up out of there. Nope. All right. Well, let's watch and see what they do here. I might get back in this. I want to see how they react if they get down in here to the 525 area. Yeah, they did. Luckily, I was able. That's why I took them other ones off after it picked that up and put that stop in case they did this. I either wanted filled right then for a pushback, not what they just did, because it's right here. Now they just tapped 523. They could bounce here. How they react? Give them a minute here. Remember, I said they might want to sweep these candles back here. Well, if they can get through here and sweep, tag that, because it could be like an intraday double bottom that they put in here, maybe. But if they break it, then yeah, there's more downside for sure. But it could just be an intraday double bottom right now, possibly, that they might try till they can prove that they're going to break it and take it down. But it could take them a few minutes. You know, they could, if they keep it up in this box right here, could chop it around a little bit, maybe possibly see a turnaround. I mean, it is oversold pretty heavy. So originally they'd have picked up all 5. But yeah, it don't look like there's any buyers here to do anything. It don't look like it anyway. I remember the hour though too. I mean, time of day. And then right when we think it's bearish and there aren't any buyers, they could throw in a candle, rip some faces off to the upside possibly. Either way, I'm done with the trade. I'm not going to get back in it. I got my little scalp for I think 40 or 50 bucks. And I'm going to let it be what it is for now. Maybe if I get time, I might come back and have a look in power hour, maybe. Or close to power hour anyway. Depends on if I'm done with my outside chores. Not looking good at all. No. I'm gonna go and call it a day right here. I believe everybody. I appreciate everybody showing up and showing out. I will see everybody back on the new session tomorrow morning, same place, same time. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. See everybody tomorrow.